RV.media.
You boys ain't from around here, are you? Where are you boys trying to head to? Now you boys best keep riding, you hear? This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
Hello again, this is Randy Adams. Thank you for tuning in to RV.media. And we talk about the RV business and making memories. We had a radio show called Making Memories. Josh Pierce is my co-host here. We've been in the RV business for a long time. But, people need to know exactly what they're doing. And, a little work saves a little money and a little effort. But how many times do people buy one and upgrade an RV? Hello, Jace. I'm glad you're on the show with me today.
Hey, Randy. Yeah, they upgrade the RVs, multiple times. There's different things going into it, whether they want to buy a new one, a used one. Maybe they want to get out of the business and, they're at the end of having a lot of fun in the RV and they don't know what to do.
Are you experiencing severe mental anguish?
One pattern I've noticed lately is people trying to sell an RV. There's a lot of fraud and scams going on through emails and Facebook and Craigslist. And we don't do that, do we, Randy? We just buy them straight up.
That's right. We bought a lot of them recently. Thank you, radio listeners. I've got several other radio shows that I mentioned that we buy RVs. We're getting lots of calls. We appreciate each and every one of them. And they're thrilled to get rid of them. Yay! They're tired of paying maintenance, insurance. Hey, storage. Storage is a problem with them. I guess that's why all the storage lots are full of them, huh?
Yeah, there are a lot of storage lots are full of them. I've been traveling around to different areas all over the local listener area, of WAI, and I've met a lot of people and seen a lot of things. One of the things that people keep talking about actually is the cost of, maintaining this RV, and if they're not using it, that can be a pretty hefty cost. And then if they want to refinance the RV, the interest rates were so low a couple years ago, they can't even get a better rate, Randy. It's unbelievable what's going on in the economy.
Well, the rates are going up and they're going to continue to go up. I really believe that we're going to be looking at 10% interest rate. But I remember the Carter days. Oh, yeah. Jimmy Carter and 20%. Oh, 18 to 20%. So it's just a numbers game to the government, and they don't care what's going on. But making memories is more important to me, because everybody that's on the last few days, they're trying to put in all the good times that they've had. And I've had great times camping out. And I even camped out on Port Aransas right after graduation in 1967 for 10 days with 4 other buddies. Boy, we had a blast down there in a tent and, making memories. But some of these people, if you're going to start out to buy one, maybe they need to buy used, maybe they need to rent one. What do you think?
Yeah, and I've been talking, and we mentioned this on the last show, and we're getting ready to have them on here talking about, people not using the RV. Maybe they're upside down and they can't afford to sell it. They can give us a call at 4242 RV info. That would be one way to text us pictures and images of the RVs, and we can try to ascertain a value, and then we can get them in contact with a couple of these rental companies that charge a minimal fee, and they can rent the RV out while it's selling there. They can handle the whole process, Randy. It's unbelievable.
Well, and a lot of places will have a camper at the campsite that you can rent, and cottages. So, you can make memories in a lot of different directions with an RV, and what is really going on now? Family, quality time with your family and your friends, and that's what we love. And so I want every opportunity to teach people what's going on, because I've owned a bunch of them. Besides buying and selling, I usually have one for myself. I bought a coach that needs some work, and I've got a man wanting to buy it. I bought it just to help missionaries out going to South Africa, and it's got some damage on it. But sometimes with damage, they're cheaper, but they can be fixed. Hey, it ain't broke if money will fix it.
Oh, yeah. And another thing going on, Randy, that I noticed going around here is there are a lot of RV resorts going to be built within, 50 miles of us over near Fredericksburg, Kerrville, Blanco County. It's expanding with places to go. And the neatest thing that I found out is that the wineries, Randy, I know it's a little early in the morning on Sunday to talk about wine, but, maybe time for a little communion here and there. But have you been out to all those things, Randy?
I've been by them, but I've never been at one, and it sounds like a pretty intriguing thing to go to. A lot of new adventures out there, isn't there?
Oh yeah, there's a way to have fun, adventures, memories, and excitement. You can go enjoy the fame and become famous if you travel to enough RV parks. What are the types of fun you think people can have with an RV there, Randy?
Well, cookouts, meeting new people, and the best people are out camping. I've never met anybody that I didn't like. Now, some of them are a little grouchy and all, and some of them are a little opinionated, but no big deals. But you know what? I've been to Guadalupe State Park many a time, a little short ride. You can be there in 30 minutes from New Braunfels or less, and man, you can enjoy a weekend and, hey, pack it all back up and go back. I used to keep my camper ready to go. And so it wouldn't take much. I could jump in it. We decided to go and we got a spot to park. We jump in it and go and really have a great time. Yeah. But there's so many parks close by that you can really have a great time at and just get away from the normal hustle, bustle, and headaches that we carry around with us. And we love just talking to everybody in the business. Great adventures. Hey, what are we calling that, Jace?
Fame, fun, adventure, memories, and excitement. And speaking of fame and famous, we've got a special guest on right now with Newell Coach. His name is Josh. Go ahead and introduce yourself there, Josh.
Hey, everybody, my name's Josh Snyder. I'm a sales representative for Newell Coach in Miami, Oklahoma.
Well, I've got a little history with Newell Coach because a good friend of mine named Scotty Gray has bought 2 new ones, and he loved them, and he traveled all over the United States in them. And y'all built, of course, this might have been 30 years ago, y'all built 3 cages to put his large cockadoos or big parrots or something in there. And what a guy, and he loved your Newell Coaches. And so I'm very aware. And then a friend of mine's got an older one that looks like new, and there's no telling how many miles he's got on it. And he went on to spend money for a new one. So how's y'all's business doing?
Business has been great. In fact, we have increased production from 24 coaches a year to 26 coaches. Just recently did that in the last couple months. And we have a backlog of 2 years, meaning that if you put your order in today or put your name on the list, you will be taking delivery of your coach in about the middle of January of 2025. So business has been really strong for us. The pandemic kind of helped the whole RV industry out. We just continued on since then.
Yeah, so you're located on that historic Route 66, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We started there in 1967, actually, from a gentleman named L.K. Newell, and that's where Newell got his name from. So we've been in the same location right off Route 66, right next to Commerce, Oklahoma. North Miami is where we're at, the northeast corner of Oklahoma.
Wow.
So let's say I got on y'all's website, which is newellcoach.com, and wanted to order a motorhome. I mean, what's the process of doing something like that, and how much would it cost?
Well, usually our motorhomes range in pricing because it's kind of an a la carte in how we build it. And what we do is we build your dream RV from the ground up. We're the only ones in the nation that does that. But the average cost is close to $2.5 million right now. That's what one of our coaches, a fully loaded brand new coach, would go for.
So you give him options and colors and what they want?
You build it, how big you want your slides and everything. And how we usually start it is we start asking questions. They may come to us, the customer comes to us wanting to build a custom motorhome. We'll ask them how they're using it. Some may have kids, they may not have kids. So therefore, bunks and stuff like that are always options. Kind of start building from there. Do you want a front entry? Do you want a mid entry? Because we can offer both options. We have that ability because we custom build our own chassis. And each coach is truly built from the ground up. We're the only ones that do that, build them like that in the nation. So the customization is very key part, and that's really what you get when you come to Newell is your dream RV.
Well, my guy that used to work for me, he goes to rallies for Newell. I think y'all have quite a few of those, don't you?
Do what? I couldn't hear you.
A rally on.
A rally, yeah. We do have rallies. We have 2 rallies a year. It's the Newell Coach Owners Club, and if you buy a Newell, you do not have to buy from us, but if you're the owner of a Newell, you're allowed to join the Newell Coach Owners Club. And one of the things they do is we do 2 rallies a year. We have service technicians come out to the rallies and work on your coach while you're enjoying getting to know the Newell family.
Pretty awesome. When are they during the year?
We have twice a year, one usually in the spring and one in the fall. They're doing one in Las Vegas, I believe, middle to the end of April.
Oh, nice, Randy. Maybe you could sponsor me. I can go up there and do some gambling in one of those casinos. Does that sound like a plan?
Sure, that'll work. Well, what do you expect for the rest of the year and the next? Well, I know you're booked for 2 years, but
Well, man, it's still a challenge because it's like I say, all these coaches are custom built. So Newell's unique in the fact that we don't really look at our competition to get ideas. A lot of our ideas come from our customers. So each build is a challenge for us. Just because we're backlogged for 2 years does not mean we can take any breaks or rest. In fact, actually, usually requires us to pick up the pace because each coach is becoming more and more of a custom build as the more we go up in price. But also, too, a lot of people are watching our YouTube videos with RV and with Andrew Steele. So each customer is wanting to one-up each other now. These videos are coming out. It's pretty fun.
What about chassis? Do y'all build your chassis? Do you buy them?
Everything's built from the ground up.
Wow.
Chassis, everything. So what I always say is we build a coach. Everyone else builds a floor plan to match a chassis.
Right.
We build a chassis to match the floor plan.
Right. And what engines are you using?
We're using the Cummins X15 605 horsepower.
Man, that's a great engine too.
That's a mountain pusher right there. Okay, so can people come by and visit that factory if you guys have open tours and what's something like that?
We do. We appreciate if you go on our website or give us a call and schedule a tour if you would like to. We can't do big tours, but what we usually do is tours for people who don't want to learn more about the product, the prospects, things such as that, because our factory is small.
And give us that website one more time as we're getting ready to cut to a break.
Our website is www.newellcoach.com.
Well, I know y'all building a great coach because I've been in several of them, and I know the 2000 that my guy that used to work for me still has, and it looks like new goes down the road great, and he loves everything about it. And I can imagine what a new one looks compared to that. And the last one that I really rode in also was Scotty Gray's, and he had the 3 parrots in there.
That's why a lot of people come to Newell Coach. It's ironic you say that, but we do a lot of unique things like that to custom fit to the owner's needs.
All right. Also, one last thing. I got a Porsche. Can Porsche build your motorhomes, or what was the information on that on the web I found out?
We use Porsche Design. They design the front, rear cap, and the exterior rails of our motorhomes. So we go to them. They're a German company that does a lot of different automotive designs. They even design watches, but they are owned by the same company that builds Porsches. So Porsche Design is a big play and is a big part of the Newell Coach.
Well, I appreciate you joining us today, Josh. I know you're a busy man, and anyone that wants to check out his website is newellcoach.com. Look at it on any social media things, and I really appreciate your time, Josh.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
You know, in some of these parks, Randy mentioned RV parks, they've got actual cabins and cottages you can rent out by the day, the week, or the month, Randy. You don't have to actually own an RV to go in there. And some of these facilities have water parks in there. Of course, I mentioned the vineyards and the wineries and the breweries. But I mean, there's a water park in a few of these RV parks I've stopped at already, and I'm going to be sharing those on our RV.media website. And check it out if you want to go see some of these locations. But this is unbelievable, Randy. You don't have to travel to Yellowstone Park or out of the state of Texas. There are tons of things to do around here.
I've rented a couple of them in Colorado. Drive up there and leave my whatever I drove up there, jump in the motorhome, and take off. And I stayed at one park on the Arkansas River in Colorado, and the motorhome, the hot water heater quit working. So, but there was hot showers, real clean hot showers. They had a lot of great extras at that RV park right on the river. I enjoyed it. I fly fished. I did everything. So I had a great time. But sometimes there's something happens, but there's always people there to help you. And a gentleman came by and he knew exactly what was wrong with the hot water heater. We got it back to going, but we took a couple of showers at the RV park, so it worked out. So there's a lot of options, a lot of opportunities. I would like to rent a camper in Alaska and travel Alaska, because number one, you can't hardly get hotel rooms and they're super high, and you could go to all the national parks, all the area up there, and that's a possibility. I'm thinking very serious about next summer doing that. $2.5 million is for the rich people, and there's people with money and they want to go the right way, and that bus there's no telling how long. My buddy with the 2000 model is still in excellent, looks like new shape. He takes care of it. So they last forever, it seems like. And I know that engine will go 1,000,000 miles, especially if you drive it right. So, I mean, look at the investment, how long, how much you're going to use it, and where do you want to go? And so my buddy that had the ones with the parrots in it, he traveled all over the United States. He bought it new, called me about it. I congratulated him at the time about it. And before I knew it, he had 60,000 miles on it. Oh, he was having the time of his life. He'd sold his house in Rockwall, Texas, and ended up in California in that new old bus that he had bought, and it wasn't very old. And before I knew it, next time I talked to him, caught up with him, he had 150,000 miles on it. So, I mean, let's use them. Let's enjoy them. Life's short. Sometimes we work too much. Sometimes we don't take the time and doing the things we need to do to really enjoy. Hey, before you know it, you're going to be 74 years old like me. So you got to be prepared. And I've got the best friends I've met going camping. We all went up one time on bicycle racing in Colorado and followed each other up with motorhomes. Of course, you know, I usually have one around, so I have ways of getting up and around. But we had friends and we traveled all the way to Colorado, Longmont, Colorado. We did a national bicycle race up there and then came back, and we had it's memories that I'll never forget.
Yeah, speaking of memories, Randy, I mean, you can make it with your family, your friends, your children, you know, and one of the things people are using these as a second home. They're living in them full-time and part-time. You know, there's so many avenues and venues to travel down with these RVs. It isn't just like, let's go to an RV park or let's just go over here. People are doing all kinds of stuff with these things. These workers, I've been to these RV parks, are just straight up work campers. They're building pipelines and...
Well, I went and appraised a motorhome for a guy. He needed appraisal for insurance up at Canyon Lake. And they travel around the RV parks working and having something to do and making a little extra money plus a free campsite. And they were working the kitchen, fixing hamburgers and hot dogs and serving people. And they work 2 or 3 hours a day. And the campsites love it, and they get good quality people to work there. But they love doing it. And these people were in a high dollar Prevost, and it wasn't a cheap motor home. It was a $600,000 motor home used. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and you make memories meeting people, serving people, if that's what you want to do. And if not, you can be served when you're up there by some people that are camped there.
You know, those are a lot of exciting things and exciting times with exciting people. You know, we got vineyards, we got casinos, we got resorts, we got festivals. I mean, they're just, the journey is just never ending with these RVs. And I just can't believe, you know, but some people are at the end of the journey, Randy. And we've run into a couple people this week that have called in to the radio show, and you can email us or text us on RV.media and for finding out how get your RV a free appraisal. We'll do that. I went out and met that guy with a motorhome. It had been stored in a barn. The outside stickers were great, and at only 19,000 miles, we got that motorhome, and the guy was unbelievable. He didn't believe we took the time. We went out there, we assessed it, and then we gave him an offer on it. But he said he thinks he's going to donate it to another missionary, Randy.
Yeah, well, he can get a donation. He can get a write-off. There's possibilities there. And, you know, you can get a write-off on your taxes when you donate it to somebody in need if you do it properly. And so I don't blame him, and that's a great idea because he had somebody living in it before, and he wanted to bless somebody.
Did you know that I actually, and speaking of missionaries and all that stuff, I actually found churches that are held inside of some of these RV parks. They have poker night, but they also have church on Sunday, Randy. I mean, they call it game night is what they call it. They don't say poker night, but you know, and it's different parks, and there's buy-in. Some of the parks allow outside people in, some of them don't. You know, we're creating lists of these different style of parks. Some of them are resort style. The river on one side of the lake is full, Randy, but on the other side of the lake, the river's a little bit low at some of these RV parks. So certain sides of the Guadalupe River have got some water in it, and it's really nice. Some of these, how many parks do you think you've been to in your life, Randy?
Oh, I don't know, a bunch, but I can't believe how many. I thought I'd been to a bunch until you start telling me how many's around. It's amazing how many. And they're building new ones. They're great investments. People are wanting to live there permanently. I've got a good friend of mine that's up at above Horseshoe Bay, and he's at a campsite, loves it. That's where he's living now. He's got it all lit up at night. He's got got pictures he sends me of it, and he's thoroughly enjoying living in a camper right now.
Oh, yeah. And one of the other things, there's people go to these RV parks, Randy, and like the ones with the RV parks and the vineyards, they've got wedding chapels in there. People are getting married in these vineyards. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, down at New Braunfels, that's another big town, which you're very familiar with. New Braunfels, Randy, but New Braunfels is an area a lot of people come in here and get married at one of these vineyards or one of the wineries around here, which is, I guess, a cost-effective event, but we're going to start featuring and hosting those things.
Come to think about it, Rodney, an old buddy Skolot, an old buddy of mine, he's got a great campground, and he's got a chapel in it. I guess you can get married out there. I hadn't thought of that, but I went to a wedding reception out there. They got married on the Guadalupe River. TK's daughter did. And then they went out to Rodney Skolot's place right there at the Fourth Crossing. And great place, had great food, had a place to dance. And so he's well set up. I guess I need to talk to Rodney, promote his campgrounds, but it seemed like it was full when I was out there.
Some of the campgrounds are full. Some of them aren't. Some of them are on the beaten path. Some of them are resort style and high overturn weekend campers. Some of them are long term. It's like when you say the term RV park, that's kind of vague. There's different, and that's one of the things we're doing and going out here is going to feature these parks and explain and let our listeners at RV.media know what these parks are all about. I mean, some of them have bingo night, Randy. Maybe we can sponsor that and we can go out there and spread the word and the good news of everything that's going on.
Well, bingo night, everybody gets involved in. I've seen that, and everybody enjoys that a lot. But, also we're seeing the market-wise, the dealers are getting full on campers.
Oh, yeah, they are.
So the market's slowed down just a little. And if you want to sell one, I think it's right now would be the best time.
Yeah, it would. And how do they get a hold of you at your number, Randy, to call?
You can call me at 830-708-4789, or Jason's got the other number.
Yeah, it's 4242 RV Info. That's 424-278-4636. And that's on the website at RV Media. You can either text us or email us or call us direct. Either one of us, the numbers are hooked up on there. And describe us your RV and get a free appraisal. Maybe we can come up with a strategy. We're working with a couple dealers that are talking about, just helping these people get out of the RV. Some of the RVs are up in value. Some of them are down in value. And also it's the condition, Randy. That's the biggest part. Is some people store these things inside of barns. They get them waxed every year. I mean, just buying an RV and sitting in the West Texas sun can really do a lot of damage. But some of these people actually take care of these RVs, and 3 or 4 years later, that 03 motorhome, the stickers on there, Randy, didn't have a crack on them. It was unbelievable.
Well, I bought a 76 GMC out of Columbus, Ohio one year. We were riding down the road, me and my father-in-law at the time, and I look over there and there's this GMC, 76 GMC, remember, with the Tornado front end and 455 O's in the motor. And we whipped over, and it was in a climate-controlled garage that he had bought. The guy had bought it new, and he'd passed away. They only used it to go to Ohio State football games.
Oh, no kidding.
That was it. And they didn't even spend the night, but they would go to Indiana, Michigan, all of the games, Penn State games, of course, and then they tailgated at Columbus, Ohio, and that's where I bought it, in Columbus, Ohio. So I bought it, wired them the lady the money, flew back up there, and I drove it home, and it run and drove and looked like new. But all they ever did was tailgating and going to football games. But I mean, maybe people, they do quite a bit of that. You got to have a camper, you can cook, you can get ready for the college football games that you enjoy so much, and it's a great opportunity. But I love doing that. It was a great trip coming back in it. It drove like a new one. Oh, it was so good. But it'd been in climate control, and it looked like new. You talking about stripes? This thing was 30-something years old and still looked like new.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you guys are out there, if you're winter Texans that came down here and you're heading back north, I know this is the time of the year they start flying north, like the hummingbirds that are coming around through the town and the butterflies. It's going to start getting warm down here. So if you're heading north, you can check us out on our website, RV.media, or give us a call. Our emails, phone numbers, and text numbers are everything on that website. And describe the coach to us, email us, send us some pictures and stuff like that. We can give you a hard cash number on your RV today. And, if you're just not going to use it again, and this is the last time coming down here, give us a shot. If anything, we'll give you an idea on what the RV's worth, right, Randy?
Oh, yes. Everybody needs to know exactly where they stand. Because if you walk into a place that you want to consign it, and you give them a price that's like a poker player showing his hand, if it's too cheap, they'll buy it from you. So don't make that mistake. Know exactly what it's worth before you go into a consignment if you decide to consign it.
Yeah, and I talked to a guy. He had his RV on consignment for like 7 months at this dealership, and I mean, it was just a different kind of RV. Well, here, what's up and coming with the projects we're working on, Randy, with the show and everything?
We've got so much coming up, and we're going to about buying and selling RVs, about maintenance on them, about fixing them, about YouTube. We got so many things we want to bring up to the listeners. We're going to try to help you every way. Our time's up today, and I appreciate you listening. Hey, tune in next week. We're going to have more information. Jace is out there. I'm out there. We're looking for spots to really enjoy ourselves, and I'm going to be back in a motorhome pretty quick here myself.
Yeah, and have a safe travels today. Remember, RV.media is our website. Reach out and contact us today, and if anything, tell us where you're going or what you're doing or how much fun you're having.
And call me anytime, 830-708-4789. And look for my other radio shows, learntobuyandSellCars.com. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in.